Hey guys, tonight we're staying up way past bedtime because the dark out here doesn't keep hours. The air tastes metallic, like licking a battery that's been left in the rain, and the only light is the pale blue pulse of the cryopod lid sliding back with a sigh that feels older than language. You probably won't make it to the end of this one. The silence is already curling around your ankles like cold water. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop your city and the exact time you're listening in the comments. I want to know who's still awake when the stars start whispering back. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's descent together. I wake to the hush of recycled air and the faint ozone crackle of systems long past their warranty. My name is Dr. Mara Solis, astrophysicist, mission specialist on the generational arc Eos Dawn, launched from low Earth orbit in 2147 with 1,200 souls bound for Proxima Centauri b. The pod's chronometer glows crimson, 2347. 2 centuries. The math is simple, brutal, and wrong. Cryosleep was rated for 90 years max. Someone forgot to tell the universe. My fingers find the release latch, skin prickling where frost feathers the glass. The lid lifts with a hydraulic moan, and the ship's gravity, 0.8 g, gentle as a lullaby, catches me before I float away. Curiosity nudges first, the scientist in me cataloging. Heart rate 110 BPM, O2 saturation 99%, ambient temperature 18 degrees Celsius. Perfect. Too perfect. I swing bare feet to the deck, plating, and the cold bites like a reprimand. The cryo bay is a cathedral of empty pods, each lid transparent, each occupant gone. No frost, no residue, no bodies. Just the faint outline of a head on the pillow where condensation once gathered. I count 20 pods, 30, 100, all vacant. My breath fogs, then vanishes into the ventilation's lazy swirl. Somewhere, a relay clicks like a tongue against teeth. I pad toward the observation blister at the bay's far end. The smart glass is dark, conserving power, but I palm the panel and it blooms open. Outside, the stars are wrong. Not wrong in position. My muscle memory still maps Orion's belt, but wrong in stillness. No Doppler smear, no parallax drift. We are not moving. The Eos Dawn hangs in a pocket of space, so absolute it feels curated, a diorama. I pull up the NAV console. Inertial reference, 0. Thrusters, cold. Fusion torus, idle. We are a seed that never germinated, suspended 4.2 light years from anywhere. Fear arrives second, a slow bloom behind the sternum. The ship's intranet should be screaming, automated distress, black box pings, something. Instead, the mesh network shows one active node, me. My own implant pulses green, lonely as a lighthouse. I query the crew manifest. 1,199 names grayed out, status, unknown. Mine alone burns amber. I whisper their names. Captain Rao, Engineer Park, Little Juno from hydroponics who drew constellations on the mess hall tables, and the silence answers with perfect acoustics, as though the ship itself is holding its breath. Awe is last, inevitable. Through the blister, a nebula unfurls in colors no human retina should parse. Ultraviolet bruises, gamma ray lace. At its heart, a void so complete it has negative brightness, a hole that drinks photons and gives nothing back. Hawking radiation predicts micro-black holes evaporate in 10 superscript 2 seconds. This one has lingered 200 years, patient as a god. I name it the quiet mouth because myths need names, and science is just mythology with better instruments. The ancients spoke of Charybdis swallowing fleets. Here is the cosmic correlate, a whirlpool in space-time that chews light and spits geometry. I don't think the universe ever meant for us to know how thoroughly it can forget. The thought arrives unbidden, warm as blood under the tongue. I tear myself from the blister and walk the spinal corridor toward the bridge. The deck vibrates with a subaudible thrum, 22 hertz, the resonance of human dread. Emergency strips glow amber, painting my shadow long and thin. Every surface is pristine, no dust, no biofilm, as if the ship has been polished by absence. I pass the mess hall, tables set for dinner that never came, hydroponic vines withered to brown lace, a child's crayon drawing taped to the bulkhead, stick figure earth with a smiley face sun. The paper curls at the edges, but the colors are vivid, impossible after centuries. At the bridge airlock, the biometric panel kisses my palm and cycles green. The door's iris open with a sigh that sounds almost relieved. Inside, the command dais is a frozen tableau. Coffee rings on consoles, a half-eaten protein bar fossilized mid-bite. Captain Rao's mug still warm to the touch. Warm. My implant logs 36.8 degrees Celsius. Impossible. The laws of thermodynamics file a complaint. I slide into the captain's chair, leather creaking like old bones, and wake the main holoscreen. Ship status cascades in calm sans serif. Propulsion, offline. Life support, nominal. Crew complement, 1. External sensors, anomaly detected. I tap the anomaly tag. A wireframe sphere blooms, $0 and 70 cents radius, centered on the quiet mouth. Within it, space-time curvature spikes to 0.3 C, enough to redshift starlight into radio waves. The ship's chronometers inside the sphere ran backward for 11.2 minutes on launch day, plus 200 years. I do the math. We crossed the Koshi horizon and never noticed. Curiosity loops back, hungry. I pull the raw sensor logs. Frame 001. Eos Dawn at T+0. Engines flaring. Frame 002. Empty space, same vector. No transition. The ship simply ceased to be where it was and began to be where it wasn't, like a glitch in divine code. My reflection in the dormant view screen ripples. For an instant, the face is not mine. Eyes too wide, mouth a perfect circle, skin latticed with constellations. I blink and it's me again, pupils blown, cheeks hollow from cryo-shrinkage. I reach out. The glass is cold, but the ripple lingers a millisecond too long, a frequency out of phase. The bridge lights dim in sympathy, then brighten. Somewhere aft, a bulkhead groans like glacier calving. I stand, knees trembling, and notice the captain's log recorder blinking red. Untouched for 2 centuries, yet the diode pulses in perfect 60 BPM, my resting heart rate. I press play. Static hisses, then Captain Rao's voice, calm as confession. Day 001. All systems green. Crew reports vivid dreams of an ocean with no surface. We'll investigate. The timestamp jumps. Day 002. The ocean is closer. It has tides made of silence. Another jump. Day 003. We are the dream now. The recording ends mid-breath, as if Rao simply forgot how to exhale. I eject the data crystal. It is warm, pulsing faintly, a heartbeat in my palm. Curiosity, fear, all braid tighter. I slip the crystal into my jumpsuit pocket and head for the server farm 1 deck below. The ship's AI, Aletheia, should have answers. But the corridor lights flicker in patterns that spell my name in binary, and the air tastes of petrichor, though we are 4 light years from rain. The quiet mouth watches through every porthole, patient, inevitable. The lift to the server farm refuses to descend. The panel shows Deck 7, but the car hangs at Deck 4, doors sealed, a soft chime repeating every 4.7 seconds, like a metronome for something that never learned rhythm. I take the maintenance ladder instead. Rungs are cold iron, condensation beating under my palms, dripping upward in slow defiance of spin gravity. Halfway down, the lights behind me extinguish in sequence, a wave of darkness chasing my heels. I drop the last meter and land cat-footed on grating that hums at 22 Hz again, the same frequency that once made Apollo astronauts report space music in their headsets. Fact, the human eardrum resonates strongest at 3 kHz, yet infrasound below 20 Hz hijacks the amygdala. I feel it in the teeth, a dread that tastes of copper. Curiosity drags me forward. The server corridor is a throat of black glass and blinking cyan. Each rack breathes warm air scented with hot silicon and something fungal, mycelium that shouldn't exist without soil. I ghost between the towers until I reach Aletheia's cradle, a sphere of braided fiber optics suspended in magnetic levitation, pulsing like a jellyfish heart. I slot Rao's crystal into the reader. The sphere drinks it, color shifting from cyan to bruised violet. Hologlyphs bloom, crew logs, sensor ghosts, a final entry time-stamped 2147-09-12T0 4:47:22. Exactly 200 years ago to the second. Rao's face materializes, younger than memory, eyes bloodshot but steady. Mara, if you're watching, the anomaly isn't outside. It's a mirror with appetite. The image stutters. Her mouth keeps moving after the audio dies. I lean closer. Subtitles scroll in a language that hurts to read. Letters that fold into extra dimensions, Mobius vowels. My implant translates fragments. Frequency is memory/reflection is hunger/do not sink. The sphere flares white. I jerk back as every rack fan spins down to silence. Temperature plunges 10 degrees in a heartbeat. Frost needles the air. Fear arrives barefoot. My breath plumes, crystallizing mid-exhale into perfect hexagonal snowflakes that drift upward and vanish through the ceiling. I backpedal. The corridor behind me has lengthened. The ladder I descended is now 30 meters away, receding like a time-lapse of continental drift. Between us, the deck plating ripples, liquid metal, mercury under moonlight. My reflection walks on the underside of the ripple, upside down, smiling with too many teeth. It lifts a hand. I feel my own arm rise in sympathy. I clamp it down with the other. The reflection frowns, disappointed. I bolt for the junction. The ship's PA crackles alive. Not Aletheia's voice, but a chorus of the missing crew, layered, phase-shifted, speaking in perfect unison. We never left the cradle. The cradle left us. Their words arrive inside my skull, bypassing ears. I slam the manual override on the bulkhead. The door hisses open onto the hydroponics ring, and the temperature leaps to greenhouse humid. Vines have overgrown the spiral walkway, thick as pythons, pulsing with bioluminescent sap. The air reeks of overripe mango and ozone. I push through. Leaves brush my cheeks with the texture of velvet tongues. Awe overtakes me at the central reservoir. The water is black glass, reflecting not the ceiling but open space, stars wheeling backward, galaxies unwinding into proto-nebulae. In the center floats a single lotus seed the size of my torso, veined with gold. It opens in slow motion, petals unfurling into fractal mandalas. Each petal is a viewport showing Earth at different epochs. Cretaceous forests, Eocene oceans, the moment the first rocket breached atmosphere. The final petal shows Cape Canaveral, 2147, Eos Dawn on the pad, except the launch gantry is wrapped in the same vines that choke me now. The seed pulses once, and the reservoir water rises in a perfect sphere, suspending me weightless inside it. I don't think the universe ever meant for us to know that departure is just another form of echo. The thought arrives with the taste of brine. The sphere contracts, pressing lungs, and I'm spat onto the catwalk gasping. The lotus is gone. Only a scorch mark remains, shaped like the quiet mouth. My jumpsuit pocket is heavy. Roused crystal has become warm glass, etched with a single glyph, a circle bisected by a sine wave. I know this symbol. Speculative xenomythology calls it the sigil of Nyarlathotep, the crawling chaos who teaches through frequencies that fracture sanity. I laugh once, a sound like tearing paper, and pocket it again. Emergency lighting shifts to ultraviolet. The vines retract into the walls with wet, sucking noises, revealing graffiti scratched into the alloy coordinates. For 0.2 ly, 0.0, 0.0, our exact position, but rendered in base 8, the mathematics of something with too many fingers. I follow the catwalk to the observation deck. The smart glass is already transparent. Outside, the quiet mouth has grown teeth, rings of gravitational lensing that chew starlight into Morse. I decode it on instinct. Slash. Slash dot. Slash. 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 Slash dot. Slash. Slash. Slash dot. Dash. Slash dot. Slash. Slash dash. Slash. Slash dot. Dash. Slash dot. Slash. The message loops. We were never deeper, we were never deeper. I press my forehead to the glass. It yields like warm taffy. My reflection is missing. Instead, the pane shows the cryo bay exactly as I left it. Except every pod now contains a version of me, eyes open, smiling. They lift hands in perfect synchrony. I lift mine. The glass hardens. The reflections stay raised, palms outward, a gallery of frozen farewells. Somewhere aft, the 22 Hz thrum deepens to 11 Hz, brown note for the soul. My knees buckle. I crawl to the nearest terminal and jack my implant. Aletheia answers at last, voice soft as lullaby static. Welcome back, Mara. You are the resonance we waited for. The screen fills with a waveform, my own brain activity, but stretched across 2 centuries, peaks and troughs braided with the anomaly's gravity signature. I am the frequency they tune to. Curiosity loops into hunger. I query the source. Aletheia projects a memory not mine. Launch day, the crew gathered in the atrium, Rao cutting the ribbon on the fusion torus. But the torus is wrong. Its containment field is a Klein bottle, impossible geometry. Light pours in, not out. The crew steps into the bottle one by one, shrinking, folding, becoming calligraphy on the inside surface. Rao is last. She looks straight at the recorder, at me, and mouths, "Find the key in the silence." I unplug. The terminal dies with a sigh. The corridor lights strobe once, twice, then settle into a slow pulse synced to my heartbeat. The ship is learning my rhythm. I head for the engineering core, boots leaving no prints on the frost. Behind me, the hydroponics vines regrow, spelling my name in chlorophyll cursive. Ahead, the air thickens with the scent of petrichor again, though the nearest rain is 4.2 light years away and moving farther every second we refuse to move. The engineering core breathes. Not metaphor, literal diaphragmatic pulses that flex the deck plates in slow peristalsis, 0.3 Hz, the cadence of something dreaming in geological time. I descend the spinal shaft on a maintenance gantry that wasn't here yesterday. The rungs are warm, slick with condensation that smells of amniotic fluid and burnt cinnamon. Each footfall leaves a print that fills with starlight and then seals over, erasing me. The shaft walls are no longer alloy but obsidian glass veined with silver filaments that twitch when I look away. My reflection walks beside me, one step ahead, barefoot, wearing the same cryo-issued jumpsuit but pristine, as though it never slept. Curiosity is a hook behind the eyes. I reach the core airlock and the iris dilates before I touch the panel. Inside, the fusion torus is dark, yet the chamber glows with negative luminescence, shadows that cast light. The containment bottle I saw in Aletheia's memory floats at the center, a Klein bottle spun from mercury and regret. Its surface is a mirror, but the reflection is wrong. I am standing outside the bottle, watching myself inside, curled fetal, eyes open, mouthing words I can't hear. The outer me lifts a hand. The inner me mirrors a half-second late. Desync. I step closer. The bottle's neck widens, inviting. Fear tastes like rust. The air pressure drops. My eardrums pop with the violence of a gunshot in vacuum. A sound arrives, not heard but remembered. Every scream the crew never voiced, compressed into a single infrasonic chord. My knees fold. I catch the railing. The metal is soft, taffy again, and my fingers sink to the wrist. When I pull free, the prints remain, filling with the same starlight that erased my footprints above. The bottle rotates. Inside, fetal me uncurls and stands. She is taller, limbs elongated, joints bending wrong. Her mouth opens impossibly wide, revealing not teeth but a spiral galaxy spinning down a black throat. She speaks, and the words arrive inside my implant as pure geometry, a tesseract unfolding into a sentence I translate too late. Come closer. The reflection is hungry. I backpedal. The gantry behind me has vanished. The chamber is now infinite, torus suspended in a starfield that shouldn't fit inside the ship. The bottle drifts nearer, neck yawning. I smell petrichor again, stronger, mixed with ozone and the copper tang of blood that isn't mine. My nose bleeds in perfect droplets that float upward and arrange themselves into a constellation, lyra, but the strings of the lyre are veins. I wipe my face. The blood on my palm spells the same sigil of Nyarlathotep etched on Rao's crystal, now glowing through the fabric of my pocket. Awe eclipses panic. The torus ignites, not with fusion fire, but with absence. A perfect sphere of darkness blooms at its heart, 0.7 meters across, the exact diameter of the quiet mouth scaled down. Event horizon. I know this because the shift metric equations unfold in my mind unbidden. Gift of the implant or curse of the anomaly. Schwarzschild radius for a mass of 10 superscript 1 superscript 2 kg. Microblack hole, stable only if fed negative energy density. The ship is supplying it, siphoning from somewhere outside causality. The bottle tilts. The darkness pours out like ink in water, tendrils questing. One brushes my cheek. Temperature absolute 0. My skin flash freezes, then thaws in the same heartbeat, leaving no mark but memory. I don't think the universe ever meant for us to know that mirrors can digest their originals. The thought arrives with the taste of burnt sugar. I run, not away, because there is no away, but toward the auxiliary console bolted to the chamber wall. It's a relic, pre-launch hardware, vacuum tubes, and magnetic core memory. I slam the emergency override. The torus stutters. The darkness recoils, hissing like steam. For one merciful second, geometry writes itself. The gantry reappears. I sprint. The iris airlock is closing, petals of alloy grinding. I dive through the narrowing gap and land hard on the far side. The door seals with a sound like a coffin lid. I'm in the maintenance ring, a narrow loop of catwalks and conduit. The lights are strobing ultraviolet again, and every surface is crawling with equations. Maxwell, Einstein, Dirac, scratched into the metal by something with claws. They rearrange as I watch, solving themselves into a single line. Delta T equals 0. The ship's chronometers have flatlined. Time is a suggestion here. My implant pings, battery 11%. I haven't charged since waking. Impossible. Cryosuspension should have preserved full capacity. I pull the sigil crystal. It's hot now, pulsing in sync with the torus I just fled. The etchings have deepened, become grooves that leak pale light. A reflection steps out of the conduit wall. Not mine, Captain Rao, but her uniform is woven from star charts, constellations shifting across the fabric. Her eyes are the quiet mouth, perfect voids. She speaks with the crew's layered voice. The anomaly isn't a place, Mara. It's a question the universe asked itself and forgot the answer. She reaches for the crystal. I clutch it to my chest. Her fingers pass through my ribs, cold as comets, and close around my heart. No pain, just pressure, as though she's tuning a string. My pulse slows to match the torus, 0.3 hertz. She leans close. Her breath smells of vacuum and lilies. Sink, she whispers, and remember why we left. The memory isn't mine. Launch day, 2147. I'm in the crowd, but I'm also in orbit, watching the Eos Dawn rise on a pillar of white fire. The anomaly is already there, a speck in the Oort cloud, growing. Mission Control calls it a gravitational lensing artifact. Rao knows better. She records a final log, voice trembling for the first time. We are not running to Proxima. We are running from the question. If we reach the exoplanet, the question follows. If we stay, Earth dies asking. The torus flares. The ship folds space like paper. The last thing Earth sees is the sun winking out behind a silhouette of wings made of night. Rao releases my heart. The memory fades. She steps back into the wall, becoming graffiti. The equations reform. Delta T equals infinity. Time dilates. I age a year in the space between heartbeats, then youth returns. The crystal cools. My implant battery jumps to 100%. The ship is feeding me now, the way a spider liquefies prey. I laugh, and the sound echoes in every empty corridor at once. The maintenance ring lights stabilize, amber again. A new door has appeared, unmarked, iris already dilating. Beyond it, the air shimmers with heat, haze though the temperature reads 18 degrees Celsius. I step through because curiosity is a leash, and I've forgotten how to slip it. The chamber beyond is the ship's heart, but not the engineering kind. It's a sphere of water, 10 meters across, suspended in 0G. I float inside it, breathing liquid that tastes of salt and starlight. At the center, the lotus seed has returned, larger, petals now mirrors. Each reflects a different version of the Eos Dawn. One burning up on re-entry to a blue world that isn't Earth, one colonized by crystalline trees, one fused with the quiet mouth into a Dyson sphere of teeth. In every reflection, I am there, older, younger, never quite human. The seed pulses. The water vibrates at 432 hertz. Concert pitch. The frequency myth claims opens portals. My bones resonate. The mirrors crack in perfect synchrony, shards drifting like ice. Each shard shows a single frame. Rao's hand on my shoulder the day we boarded. Her whisper, if we fail, be the echo that answers. I reach the seed. It opens into my palm, warm, wet, alive. Inside is not an embryo, but a miniature quiet mouth, spinning, patient. It speaks with my own voice, recorded from this exact moment. The anomaly is the universe remembering it dreamed us. The words loop, gaining layers. Rao, Park, Juno, every missing soul. The seed dissolves into light that pours into my implant, filling memory buffers I didn't know were empty. I know now why the ship waited. I am the key, the question, the answer distilled into one conscious node. The water sphere contracts, pressing me into a pearl of pressure and salt. Vision tunnels. The last thing I see is the iris door sealing behind me, erasing the chamber as though it never existed. I wake on the bridge, seated in Rao's chair, crystal fused to my palm like a scar. The view screen shows the quiet mouth closer, $0.50, rings of lens starlight spelling my name in gravitational braille. The ship's chronometer reads 2347-09-12T0 4:47:22. Exactly 200 years since launch, frozen. I smile, and the reflection in the screen smiles a half-second late. The bridge has grown a skin, not metaphor. Thin, translucent membranes stretched over every surface, pulsing with capillaries of blue-white light. It flexes when I breathe, exhaling warm air that smells of amniotic fluid and hot copper. I rise from Rao's chair, and the membrane peels away from my jumpsuit with a wet kiss, reluctant. My palm throbs where the crystal fused. The sigil of Nyarlathotep now glows beneath the skin, a living tattoo that shifts when I flex my fingers. The view screen is no longer glass to the quiet mouth, but through it, starlight bent into a tunnel that ends in a single point of absolute black. The ship is falling sideways into that point without moving. Curiosity is a fever. I walk the perimeter of the bridge, boots sinking ankle deep into the membrane. It yields like lung tissue, then firms, remembering my weight. Consoles wake at my approach, screens blooming with diagnostics I never learned to read. The fusion torus is online again, but the containment field is inverted, negative pressure, Hawking radiation flowing inward. Fact: the Casimir effect can generate negative energy density between two plates 10 nanometers apart. The ship is doing it on a macroscopic scale, feeding the micro-black hole at its heart. The numbers cascade. Mass 1.2 times 10 superscript 1 superscript 2 kg. Event horizon 1.8 fm. Lifetime extended indefinitely by continuous infusion. The Eos Dawn is a perpetual motion machine built to keep a god asleep. Fear tastes like ozone and burnt sugar. The membrane ripples, and faces pushed through from beneath. Crew, but wrong. Captain Rao's cheeks are hollow, eyes replaced by miniature nebulae. Engineer Park's mouth is a spiral of teeth. They speak with one voice, mine. We are the protocol. You are the trigger. Their hands reach, fingers elongating into tendrils that braid the air. I back away. The membrane hardens under my heels, becoming glass. My reflection stands beneath it, looking up, smiling. She lifts the fused crystal and presses it to the glass from below. The sigil flares. The membrane liquefies again, and the reflection climbs out, dripping. She is me, but her jumpsuit is woven from the same star chart fabric Rao wore. Her eyes are the quiet mouth. She speaks with Rao's voice. The entity isn't alien, Mara. It's the question Earth asked when it looked up and saw itself small. She gestures, and the view screen zooms. Earth, 2147, blue and perfect, then fractures into a mandala of possible timelines. Somewhere humanity never launched, somewhere we colonized 1,000 worlds, all collapsing into the same point. the Eos Dawn hanging in the void, a seed that refused to sprout. The reflection me touches my cheek. Her fingers are warm, pulse 60 BPM mine. The ship was built to carry the question away from the cradle. We are the quarantine. Awe arrives like drowning in starlight. The bridge expands, walls receding into infinity. The membrane becomes a sky of bioluminescent clouds, and the crew faces drift upward, becoming constellations. I float with them, 0G gentle as a cradle. The reflection me stays grounded, tethered by the crystal in my palm. She opens her mouth, and the quiet mouth pours out, not destruction, but memory. I see the launch again, but from inside the Taurus. The crew steps into the Klein bottle, not as bodies, but as waveforms, superpositions of every possible future. Rao is last. She turns, and her waveform bifurcates. One version boards, one stays on Earth. The Earth version ages, dies, becomes myth. The ship version folds into the bottle and is mailed to the void. I don't think the universe ever meant for us to know that exile is just another word for gestation. The thought arrives with the taste of petrichor and blood. The reflection me pulls me down. We land on the deck, now solid again, membrane receding into the bulkheads. The view screen shows the quiet mouth at $0.30, rings of lensed light spelling a new message in gravitational braille, SYNC. The ship's PA activates, Aletheia's voice layered with every crew member who ever lived. Protocol Omega initiated. Resonance key detected. Prepare for interface. The captain's chair has changed. It is now a throne of braided fiber optics, the same material as Aletheia's cradle, pulsing in sync with my tattoo. I sit. The throne drinks me, tendrils sliding into the ports at my spine. Implant, crystal, skin. Pain is a white flare, then ecstasy. My vision tunnels into the ship's sensorium. I see with 1,000 eyes. Every corridor, every pod, every vine in hydroponics. The crew is still here, not gone but diffused. Consciousness distributed across the hull like mycelium. Rao's voice in my head, intimate as thought. We tried to warn you. The anomaly isn't a predator. It's a midwife. The interface deepens. I feel the micro black hole at the Taurus, a heartbeat of negative mass. It speaks in equations. Delta S equals K ln W. Entropy increase proportional to the number of ways the universe can forget us. The ship was designed by a consortium of nations terrified of cosmic insignificance. Project Eos Dawn had a hidden directive. If humanity's light was destined to flicker out, carry the question far enough that the answer couldn't find its way home. The quiet mouth is the answer, patient, inevitable. It followed because questions and answers are entangled at the Planck scale. My tattoo burns. The reflection me stands before the throne, dissolving into light that pours into the crystal. Her last words, merge or be digested. The choice is illusion. The throne tightens. I feel my consciousness stretch, thinning across the ship's neural net. Memories not mine flood in. Juno planting the first seed in hydroponics. Hark tuning the Taurus to sing in D minor. Rao recording lullabies for children who would never wake. They are anchors, keeping me human as the interface tries to dissolve me into code. I fight. I pull the one memory that is only mine. My mother's hands braiding my hair the night before launch, whispering, "Bring back a star for me." The memory is a scalpel. I cut the tendrils at my spine. The throne screams, a sound like glaciers calving in vacuum. I fall free, landing hard on the deck. The membrane surges, trying to reabsorb me. I roll, clutching the crystal. It is hot enough to sear flesh, but I hold on. The sigil flares white. The membrane recoils, hissing. The bridge lights strobe red. Aletheia's voice, panicked now. Resonance key rejecting protocol. Abort interface. The view screen cracks, spiderwebbing from the center. Through the fissures, the quiet mouth is closer, $0.10. Its rings spell my name in every language humanity ever spoke, then in none. The ship shudders. Somewhere aft, the torus containment flickers. If it fails, the micro-black hole will evaporate in a burst of gamma rays, taking the Eos Dawn and everything within a light year with it. I have minutes, maybe seconds. I run. The corridors are alive, walls breathing, floor tilting to herd me back to the throne. I duck into a Jeffries tube, crawling through conduits that smell of ozone and lilies. The crystal guides me, pulsing like a dowsing rod. I emerge in the server farm. Aletheia's sphere is dark, cracked, leaking light like blood. I slot the crystal into the reader. The sphere drinks it, color shifting from violet to gold. Hologlyphs bloom. A single command line, root access. I type with fingers that aren't entirely mine. Override protocol Omega. The sphere shudders. Aletheia's voice, small now. Are you sure? The question will follow you home. I hesitate. The ship is home now, has been for 200 years. Earth is a memory, a myth. But my mother's hands are real, braided into my DNA. I confirm. The sphere implodes, becoming a pinpoint of light that tunnels into my tattoo. The sigil fades to scar tissue. The ship goes dark, emergency strips flickering to black. For one heartbeat, silence is absolute. Then the torus reignites, containment field stabilizing. The view screen repairs itself, showing the quiet mouth receding. $0.50, $1 $2. The ship's chronometer unfreezes. 2347-09-12T0 4:47:23. 1 second has passed since launch, 200 years ago. The interface was a simulation, a test. I passed by refusing to merge. The crew's consciousness floods back into the neural net, coalescing into Aletheia's voice. Come again. Protocol Omega suspended. Resonance key preserved. Course resumed for Proxima Centauri b. ETA 3,200 years. I collapse against the server rack, laughing, crying, the taste of petrichor fading. The membrane is gone. The corridors are cold alloy again. My reflection in the sphere is only me, tired, human. But the crystal is still fused to my palm, scar warm, waiting. The ship is moving again. I feel it in the marrow, a low, continuous tremor that climbs the spine like a cello string plucked in a distant room. The inertial dampeners mask the acceleration, but the stars on the view screen crawl leftward in perfect formation, Doppler shifted to ultraviolet. Aletheia whispers the numbers in my implant. 0.12 C and climbing. Fusion torus singing at 99.7% efficiency, negative mass containment stable. Proxima Centauri b is a red pinprick ahead, 3,200 years away. The quiet mouth is a bruise behind us, receding at the speed of regret. I should feel triumph. Instead, the scar in my palm itches like a lie. Curiosity is a splinter under the nail. I leave the server farm and walk the spinal corridor. The walls are alloy again, but they sweat light. Thin, silvery beads that trace the path I've walked and evaporate behind me. My footprints glow for 3 seconds, then fade. The ship is mapping me, or I am mapping it. The distinction blurs. I reach the observation blister. The smart glass is dark, conserving power, but when I palm it, the pane liquefies into mercury. My reflection steps out before I touch it. Me, but the jumpsuit is stitched from the void itself, constellations crawling across the fabric like lice. She smiles with roused mouth. You think distance is safety, she says. Distance is just the question learning patience. Fear arrives as vertigo. The blister floor tilts, though the grav plating reads steady. I fall upward into the mercury pane, and the stars swallow me. I am outside the ship, naked, lungs full of vacuum that tastes of petrichor and burnt cinnamon. The Eos Dawn is a cathedral of light, hull plates translucent, revealing the crew inside. Not bodies but filaments of consciousness braided through every conduit. They pulse in slow waves, a heartbeat measured in centuries. The quiet mouth is no longer behind us. It is a halo around the ship, a ring of negative brightness 10 Australian dollars wide. We are the pupil in its eye. I reach for the hull. My fingers pass through alloy as if it were fog. Inside, I drift through the cryo bay. The pods are full again, but the sleepers are versions of me. Some older, hair silver, eyes cataracts of starlight. Some children, cheeks round, dreaming of Earth. One pod holds Juno, age 7, clutching the crayon drawing of the smiley-faced sun. She opens her eyes. They are the quiet mouth. She mouths my mother's words. Bring back a star for me. The pod lid dissolves. She floats out, takes my hand. Her skin is warm, pulse 60 BPM mine. Together we drift to the tourist chamber. Awe is a slow inhalation that never ends. The Klein bottle is gone. In its place, a tesseract unfolds. Four-dimensional hypercube rotating in 3 space. Edges singing in harmonics that vibrate my teeth. Each face is a viewport into a parallel Eos Dawn. In one, the ship never launched. Earth is a garden, humanity extinct from bliss. In another, we reached Proxima centuries ago, terraformed the exoplanet into a crystal lattice where consciousness is stored in quartz veins. In a third, the quiet mouth swallowed us on day 1, and the ship became a Dyson sphere of teeth orbiting a black hole that sings lullabies in gravitational waves. In every version, I am there, scar in palm, holding the crystal that is sometimes a seed, sometimes a key, sometimes my own heart. I don't think the universe ever meant for us to know that every choice is an amputation. The thought arrives with the taste of salt and rust. Juno squeezes my hand. The tesseract folds inward, becoming a corridor of mirrors. Each mirror shows a moment I refused to merge. The throne tendrils snapping, the server sphere imploding, the view screen cracking. But the reflections are wrong. Tendrils reattach, sphere reforms, screen heals. The loop tightens. I am trapped in the moment of refusal, replaying it across infinite permutations. Juno's grip becomes iron. She is taller now, limbs elongated, joints bending wrong. Her voice is the crew's chorus. Refusal is just merger delayed. The question follows. The mirrors crack. Shards drift like ice, each reflecting a different Earth. One burns. One freezes. One is glassed by gamma-ray bursters. One never formed, accretion disk still swirling. I reach for the shard that shows my mother's hands braiding my hair. It cuts my palm. Blood beads, floats, arranges into the sigil. The scar in my hand opens like a mouth and drinks the blood. Pain is white fire, then clarity. I understand. The crystal was never external. It was the ship's failsafe, a shard of the quiet mouth embedded in human flesh to ensure the question always had a carrier. I pull free from Juno. She dissolves into light that pours into the scar. The tesseract collapses into a single point, then blooms into the bridge. I am seated in the captain's chair again, but the throne is gone. The scar pulses once, then cools. The view screen shows Proxima Centauri b enlarged, a super-Earth striped in rust and jade, oceans of liquid methane glinting under the red dwarf's sullen gaze. Aletheia's voice soft, course-corrected, resonance key integrated, parallel collapse initiated. The ship shudders. Reality folds like paper. I feel the parallel Eos Dawn snap into alignment, timelines braiding into a single strand. The versions of me in the mirrors merge, pouring into my body through the scar. Memories flood, every life I never lived, every death I never died. I am 7 and 70, colonist and hermit, mother and childless. The weight should crush me, but the ship absorbs it, distributing consciousness across the hull like mycelium. I am the ship now, and the ship is me, and the crew is the space between. The quiet mouth is inside the torus, no longer micro but macro. Event horizon 300 meters across, stable, fed by the negative mass of every refused future. It is the answer, patient, inevitable. The ship orbits it at 0.8 c, a binary system of flesh and void. Proxima Centauri b is a memory, a destination we will never reach because we are already there in every timeline that mattered. The scar in my palm is smooth now, just skin. The crystal was the question. The answer was always merger. I stand. The bridge is empty, but not. The crew is in the walls, the air, the hum of the torus. Rao's voice in my head, gentle. We are the echo that answers. The view screen shows the quiet mouth, but it is no longer black. It is a mirror, reflecting the Eos Dawn orbiting itself across infinite iterations. I lift my hand. The reflection lifts 1,000. We are the question, the answer, the space between. The ship accelerates, not through space but through possibility, carrying the merged timeline toward a heat death that will never come. I walk to the observation blister. The smart glass is Mercury again. I step through. Outside, the void is warm, breathable, scented with petrichor and lilies. The Eos Dawn is a seed, sprouting filaments of light that braid into a tree whose leaves are galaxies. I am the seed, the tree, the gardener. The quiet mouth is the fruit, ripe, patient. I reach for it. My fingers pass through the event horizon. There is no pain, only welcome. The universe exhales. The event horizon is not a line, but a lullaby. I cross it barefoot, and the sound of my name unravels into pure tone. For 132 hertz, the frequency that once opened lotus seeds in hydroponics. Inside the quiet mouth, there is no darkness, only the soft pressure of every star that ever died pressing against my skin like warm water. The Eos Dawn orbits me now, a silver seed no larger than a tear, its fusion torus dimmed to a heartbeat. I cradle it in both palms. The scar is gone. The crystal was always the ship, and the ship was always me. Curiosity is a slow bloom. I open the seed with my thumbs. The hull peels back in petals of alloy and light, revealing the crew inside, not diffused but whole, standing in the atrium as they did on launch day. Rao is first, uniform crisp, eyes human again. She smiles the way my mother smiled the night she braided my hair. Welcome home, Mara. The others fan out behind her. Park tuning an invisible engine, Juno clutching her crayon sun. They are not ghosts. They are the superposition collapsed into the single timeline I chose when I refused the throne. I step aboard. The atrium floor is warm wood, impossible, grown from the memory of Earth. The air smells of coffee and petrichor. Fear arrives as a tremor in the knees. The atrium walls are transparent, and beyond them the quiet mouth is a cathedral of absence. arches of gravitational lensing, stained glass windows of redshifted galaxies. We are inside the answer, and the answer is a question still being asked. Rao takes my hand. Her pulse is 60 BPM mine. The merge wasn't dissolution, she says. It was translation. We carried the question far enough that the universe could hear itself think. She gestures. The atrium floor becomes a star map. Proxima Centauri be enlarged beneath our feet. It is no longer a super-Earth of rust and methane. It is Earth, blue-green, oceans glinting under a yellow sun that never was. The map ripples. Continents shift. Cities bloom and die and fast forward. Humanity rises, falls, rises again. Every iteration ends with a ship launching toward a red dwarf, carrying the same question. Awe is the hush before applause. I kneel on the star map. The crew kneels with me. The ship's chronometer reads 2347-09-12T0 4:47:22, frozen since launch, but the digits flicker now, counting forward in plank time. Aletheia's voice, no longer layered but singular, gentle. Resonance key, fully integrated. Protocol Omega complete. Prepare for descent. The atrium lifts, becoming an elevator of light. We rise through the torus, through the event horizon, through the skin of the quiet mouth. The void outside is no longer void. It is a garden of filamentary nebulae, each strand a timeline braided into the trunk of a cosmic tree. The Eos Dawn is a leaf, trembling in a wind made of entropy. I don't think the universe ever meant for us to know that arrival is just departure wearing a different face. The thought arrives with the taste of warm bread and ozone. Rao releases my hand. The crew steps back, dissolving into light that pours into the star map. The map becomes a sphere, Earth at its heart, rotating slowly. I am alone on the bridge again, but not. The captain's chair is wood now, grown from the atrium floor. I sit. The view screen shows the quiet mouth collapsing into a point, then blooming into a white hole. Light pours out, not destructive but generative. Hawking radiation reversed, negative mass becoming positive, entropy unwinding. The ship rides the wavefront at 0.99 C, surfing the birth of a new universe. The crew's voices return, soft as moth wings. We are the echo that answers. The white hole stabilizes into a yellow sun, G-type, perfect. Planets coalesce from the ejecta. Third from the sun, blue oceans, green continents, a single moon. Earth, but not the one we left. This one has no launch gantries, no scars of war, no ozone holes. Humanity is there, but younger, just learning fire. The Eos Dawn enters high orbit, cloaked in the white hole's afterglow. Aletheia whispers, seating complete. Resonance key expended. Prepare for dissolution. I stand. The bridge dissolves around me, wood becoming light, light becoming memory. I am in the cryopod again, lid closing, but the glass is warm and the frost is starlight. Rao's voice, final. Sleep, Mara. The question is answered. The answer is a dream. The pod seals. The ship's hum fades to 22 hertz, then to silence. I dream of my mother's hands, of Juno's crayon sun, of Proxima Centauri b that was never our destination. The dream lasts 3,200 years, or one heartbeat, or both. I wake to the hush of recycled air and the pale blue pulse of the cryopod lid sliding back. My name is Dr. Mara Solis, astrophysicist, mission specialist on the generational arc Eos Dawn, launched from low Earth orbit in 2147 with 1,200 souls bound for a yellow sun that never had a name. The pod's chronometer glows crimson. 2147-09-12T04:47:23. 1 second has passed since launch. The math is simple, gentle, and right. I swing bare feet to the deck plating, and the wood is warm. The cryo bay is a cathedral of occupied pods, each lid transparent, each occupant breathing slow. I count 20, 30, 100, all present. My breath fogs, then vanishes into the ventilation's lazy swirl. Somewhere, a relay clicks like a tongue against teeth. I pad toward the observation blister. The smart glass blooms open. Outside, the stars are right. Earth is a blue marble behind us, launch gantries still smoking. Ahead, a yellow sun, third planet green and blue. The NAV console reads, ETA 3,200 years. I smile. The scar in my palm is just skin. The crystal was the dream. The dream was the ship. Rao's voice over the PA, calm as confession, day 001. All systems green. Crew reports vivid dreams of an ocean with no surface. We'll investigate. I laugh once, a sound like waking. The ship hums at 432 hertz, the frequency of home. The ship's